Rise forever till ties sever, shine together, rule wherever. Clock ticking now or never. My worst behavior, beats who's unique, the flavor. Foes turn flame, then vapor. Rise forever till ties sever, shine together, rule wherever. Clock ticking now or never. My worst behavior, beats who's unique, the flavor. Foes turn flame, then vapor.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Jarell's Journal. My name is Coach Jarell, and I appreciate you tuning in. Now, today I want to talk about resilience and overcoming that, because many of us had to deal and overcome with some type of, there was some type of resilience in our lives, and we had to figure out how to a way to overcome those minor or major setbacks. And in my situation, my scenario, I would consider it a major setback or multiple major setbacks that happened, in time, and I had to figure out what to do, how to adjust. And it was very difficult. It was very challenging. It was very stressful, but, with resilience, with a lot of grit that I have, I don't give up easily. I always try to figure out ways to get the job done. And that's how I was growing up. The military embedded that. Football, I'm playing football, embedded that in me. And now I just want to share a little bit of my story of what happened and give you a little peek inside of my life. We go back to 2017 when I decided to get out the military. When I decided that I was done with the Air Force. I did 6.5 years. I fulfilled my contract, and within those 6 years, I deployed 3 times. I didn't want to have to leave again. I didn't want to have to, go on another tour and be in another country and have to FaceTime my kids and my wife at the time and whatnot. And plus, there was a lot of favoritism going on that I don't like favoritism. I don't like brown nosing, and there's a lot of that happens in the military. Those are military folks that still land on my veterans. I'm sure y'all experienced it one way or another, but there's a lot of that going on, and I am naturally too much of a rebel to tolerate any of that. And during my last deployment, it was getting worse to where my actions in my mouth because of certain things was starting to get me paperwork, and I don't get paperwork. The whole time, those 6.5 years, I never got, any paperwork that actually stuck, and it was getting close to getting me some paperwork that was going to stick. So I decided, it's time to go, time to get out. But I made sure that I took the proper steps to secure me a job when I got out, so it could be a smooth transition. So as soon as I got out, I was able to go into a commercial HVAC business because I did HVAC in the Air Force. Transition beautifully, bam. Didn't really miss a paycheck. It was great. Unfortunately, first setback. Unfortunately, I only lasted at that job for 3, maybe 4 weeks. Due to the company losing multiple contracts at the same time, I was the unlucky individual to be hired last, fired first. And it sucked. It took a major blow. That was a major setback because, one, I didn't have a security blanket. Didn't set up no disability with the VA, nothing like that. I'm fresh out. I didn't have no time to do any type of paperwork, process, anything like that. Wasn't going to school. So now income went from getting paid on the 1st and the 15th to transition to a new job, getting paid on the 1st and the 15th to nothing. And I have to go back home and explain that and explain it to the wife that I had at the time, what the situation was, and she wasn't happy, and she didn't care that I got laid off, and it wasn't my fault. Because at the end of the day, in her eyes, it was my choice to get out the military, and I decided to take this risk, and since this happened, I got to figure it out. So with that, I'm scrambling. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm applying, right? And I even thought about taking an overseas job because $100,000 a year sounds amazing, but having to be away from my kids for a year that was a hard pill to swallow, and I didn't pursue that. But thankfully, luckily, I was able to tough it out. Just keep grinding, keep applying, and I decided, in the meantime, while I'm waiting on these jobs, why don't I go to school? I still have my GI Bill, and I could go to school. I can figure out what I wanted to do with my career, and I could also get a housing allowance, so at least I'm getting paid each month. And boom, that's what I did. I applied for school, set my post 911 up, and I was able to start going to school. And at the same time, I got a job working at this other, contracting at the Michelin tire plant doing HVAC commercial. I'm like, oh, perfect. I got a job, plus I'm able to go to school full time. So I'm getting the money, figuring it out, making it work. And all this is going on. And at the same time, my wife at the time was deployed. So my mother is at the house helping me take care of the kids while I go to school and go to work. Now, let me tell you about this. Talking about, doing what you got to do in tough situations, right? Turn this light on a little break. Tough situations, right? Michelin tire plant was about an hour and 20 minutes away. I had to go to school. I took 3 classes for, start my bachelor's degree. One has to be on campus. The school was an hour away from me. So I had to drive an hour and a half to work and back, and I still had to go one class a week on campus. And that was a major struggle. That was extremely difficult because I still had to come home, had to cook, had to make sure the kids did their homework and spend some time with them and whatnot. And it was draining and it was very taxing. And I had another hard choice to make. Do I stay with the company or do I just focus on school and will just be okay managing that money with the bills and figure it out? And while I was figuring that out and thinking about it, my VA compensation went through. So now I was able to get, I was on disability or getting compensated from the VA. So that made my choice easier. That means, okay, I don't have to continue to make this drive no more. I'm getting a little additional money to where we can survive paying these bills. So, like I said, I'm figuring it out each way, each moment. I'm pivoting, right? I'm overcoming. I ain't have a job. All right, make this work. Go to school, get a job. Okay, work is getting too overwhelming because this drive is insane. This is too much. Plus, doing school, I have to come home, study this and that. I still have to spend time with the kids. I still have to do this and that, and it was too much. So it was getting to a point to where it was starting to be affecting the household. So I had to make a hard choice and a hard decision. Let work go. Decided to work and focus on school and my kids, right? But along those lines, I still didn't know what I wanted to do and still was just trying to adjust to the civilian life and adjust to having to get my own insurance and all this good stuff, right? And then, boom, me and the wife separate. Now I move out, get my apartment, and still taking care of the kids, taking them to school, picking them up, and now we're in the middle of a divorce process. They're talking about back to back to back to back. There's, and I still don't have a job. I'm just going to school full time. This is the best that I can do at the moment. Don't have the time or don't have the help here. And just been grinding it out. So, what I'm saying? That happens. You go to fast forward, we get a divorce. I get primary custody, trying to save up, trying to recruit, trying to find a job, trying to find a house, trying to find a job, a better paying job, but with my work schedule, and with the kids, my work schedule gets a little difficult. It's hard. And then boom, in the middle of buying a house, in the middle of going to school, in the middle of trying to get my life on track to where I can be able to level up and get out of this rut that I've been in, or it felt like I've been in since I got out, I get served with custody papers. Setback. Setback. I haven't been able to get my feet under me yet. Now I get custody papers. And those of you who've been through divorce or been through a custody battle or whatnot, y'all know how expensive it is. It is extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do all of this with little help. Majority of the friends that I had in the military, they PCS'd already. They're gone. There's barely nobody in here military-wise to help out. I have no family here except for my mom. What do you do? What do you do? So, you know, I'm very, very thankful that I have family that looks out and will support and help me out in situations. And it was tough. It was tough, but that was another setback, major setback that I had to deal with. I won primary custody back. So now I'm back at square one from when we got the divorce. So I wanted to say that. Actually, let me continue. Because there's a good spot, because I'm still working jobs to where I'm not getting paid that much because I can't work certain hours because I don't have the help. And now I can say that I was able to overcome that hurdle, that setback, and I'm in a position to where I'm able to actually work 40 hours a week. I'm able actually to be able to continue to work and build on my business, which is meant to be fit, the podcast, which is Jarell's Journal, to be able to talk, to help so many individuals, so many fathers with the current job that I have. And it's all been a blessing. And that's what resilience is, right? Resilience is not allowing anything or anybody to stop you from being what you want to be, doing what you want to do. And, I'm going to fight. I'm going to scratch and claw, my way to where I want to be. And even right now, I'm in a very good spot, but it's not where I want to be. And I'm going to continue to fight and do what I need to do and able to advance and put myself in a position to where I want to be. And that takes a lot of hard work. That takes a lot of grit. It is not easy. There's a lot of times that I wanted to give up and throw my hands up because it is extremely draining, taxing, and so at a certain point you'd be like, when is enough? Going through years and years and years of overcoming setbacks where certain things were given to you. You didn't have to worry about pay or anything like that. Like military, we definitely had it easy in certain senses when it comes to being active duty and not worrying about when you're going to get paid most of the time. Doctor's appointments, medical bills, any of that, to where when you get out, you have to figure it out. If you don't have the proper guidance, you have to really figure it out. And a lot of the times, even when you do figure it out, there are certain things that happen to cause a setback. Could be minor, could be major, and it throws everything out of whack, and you really have to go into survival mode and figure out how to get yourself out that situation. Now, were you able to overcome those? Was able to build up enough resilience to where you know whatever happens, you gonna go for it. Ain't nothing gonna set you back. It is what it is. We're gonna get there. Did you have that type of mentality, or did you give up? In my space, in my time, I decided to fight. I'm going to overcome any type of setback, any type of obstacle that gets in my way, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I'm going to continue to do that. So I just wanted to share that because transitioning out the military is hard and it can be a very difficult process to take. And I just want to say, just take your time and figure out if that is the best for you. And if it is, then stick with it. If you know that this situation, this scenario is going to be the best for me, then you have to stick with it and have faith that things are going to work out. If it's not, then don't pursue it, but only pursue it when you know, like, hey, this is it. I don't want to do this no more. Then start setting up, and putting things in place to where it'll make your transition easier. But life may happen to where it's going to throw a gigantic wrench in the middle of your plans. But you'll have to have that willpower to be resilient to any situation or circumstances that get thrown at you and be willing to overcome any obstacles that may come your way. Now, I appreciate y'all listening to my story. I just wanted to share a little snippet, especially for my military folks and my veterans who, thinking about getting out, already gotten out and in the middle of transitioning, or been through a situation to where they learned, either in the easy way or the hard way, what it meant to transition out the military and what civilian setbacks is. So I appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If y'all haven't already, make sure y'all, like, subscribe to all the videos, the content that we put out. And please share with your friends, especially share with your military friends or your vets, because this may be able to help them out or give them some insight and some understanding, little nuggets to help them along their journey. And yeah, I didn't want to make it too long, but I appreciate y'all listening and tuning in, man. And if y'all have any stories that y'all would like to share, please reach out to me. Let me know. Put it in the comments. And let's talk. What type of setbacks did y'all have to overcome, or are y'all overcoming at the moment? Let's have a discussion. The next time, be safe out there, and I'll let y'all later. Peace.